Hello everyone, it's Simmuz here. Welcome to a brand new video in The Sims. For today we are doing, well, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but this is my entry for the Spaark'd challenge. So if you don't know what Spaark'd is, you might have not been on the Sims internet in the last few days, because they are doing I don't know how to call it, I guess reality show, that it's all based on The Sims, and it's called Spaark'd, and they are releasing challenges for the normal people that are not in this reality show for them to do, and this is the build challenge slash, I guess, storytelling and cast challenge as well. They are all with the same team, and for this first challenge, this is the first challenge, they decided to do a wedding challenge. So we are supposed to create a wedding location, so there are obviously some rules, and you had to choose, you can do obviously all three of the challenges. You can do both the building and the cast, or you can do all three with the cast, the storytelling, and the building. You can do only one of them, and I decided to do only the building, and I decided to do this big cliff church. It's not big, the church itself, but the lot itself is pretty big. I think it's a 30 by 40, 40 by 30, either one of those. And it's a pretty big lot in Sulani. And I had this in mind as soon as I saw that the wedding team was the one that was chosen, and I immediately thought of Mamma Mia. So if you don't know Mamma Mia, it's a musical slash movie. It's a pretty well-known musical movie, and there is this gorgeous church on top of a cliff in that movie. That is the church at the end of the movie. Spoilers if you haven't watched it. Is the church where the protagonist actually gets married, and the mother, I think, gets married, which is Meryl Streep. I don't remember the movie that well, but that church, and yeah, it's on a cliff that overlooks the sea. So obviously I really wanted to build it in a place where I could see easily the sea. Technically this lot is not really a beach lot, as other lots in Sulani are, but it is completely like next to the beach, and it also, like with all the cliff, I think like it feels very beachy. It's also the first time in my life that I'm using the tool mod, so I had a lot of fun with that mod. I tried to use it for the first time. I saw a lot of Simmers actually using it, but first thing first, I saw Julia Builds using this lot, this tool a lot, this tool mod, and I really wanted to try it out for myself, and I had a lot of fun using it and trying to learn how it works, and making this. Since I was using a lot of rocks and a lot of debug rocks, I wanted to be able to move them up and down easily to make it look more seamless with the terrain, and it's also one of the first and only time that I'm using the terrain editing, because I usually don't do it. So this is a lot of firsts for my first like challenge in the Spaark'd challenges, and I think it turned out super nice. Obviously, if you want to download it, it is up on the gallery right now. You can use hashtag Simmuz, or you can search my ID, which is Simmuz, like here on YouTube. If you want to search it by name, I think I called it Cliff Church parenthesis Mamma Mia, close parenthesis, just to make sure that it is like, it shows that it's inspired by that church. And I'm gonna probably add an image of the church, so you can see it's a cliff right on the sea, and it's a pretty gorgeous church. It's a very small church, but like the whole cliff itself, it's super gorgeous. There's this big staircase that goes up to it, and I decided to do exactly that. So there's this big staircase that you can see, and you go through the nature, and you get at the top. And I know that technically this isn't a very Greek inspired word, which is the place where the movie takes place. The movie takes place in Greece, so Sulani probably isn't the best substitute for Greece. I would have gone for probably something more like Brindleton Bay, maybe, even though Brindleton Bay is very northern. I don't think we really have a word that would work well in the sense for like the Greek vibe, the Mediterranean vibe in itself. Maybe even Windenburg, I guess, on the island, kinda. But again, as well, Windenburg is very Northern European rather than Southern European. So yeah, I decided to go with Sulani just because there is this old tropical and beachy vibe that was working very well still. And I did also fully playtest this build, so if you want to download it and use it as a place for your Sims to get married, you can actually do it. I placed it as a generic lot because there is only the church, there is no like catering space, so you can have like the ceremony, but you wouldn't have like the full-on banquet and eating with the guests and dancing and all the stuff. That's not really designed for that. It's just a church, and you know, since it still works, I think it's fine. I did playtest all the stairs, so the Sims can walk up the stairs and they can go to the church, they can use everything in the church, and yeah, and I also had a lot of fun using that tool mod. I really tried my best with it, and it was pretty fun, you know, trying to make all these rocks fit into the terrain and make it look good. And obviously I also cut out so many parts of me just messing around with rocks, messing around with this stuff, messing around with terrain tools and with the tool mod. It's a lot of footage that I had to cut out. This video is 20 minutes long, but it would have been like probably 30-35 minutes of footage of me placing rocks and moving rocks, because I also try to make it look good so there aren't any weird floating rocks, and obviously when you place them they don't really cut into the terrain that well. So with the tool mod I had to go in, choose the rock one by one and move it up and down and in the spot that I wanted, and it took a lot of time. I'm just gonna say that it really took a while, but in the end I'm very pleased with the final results. So obviously if you like it, I highly suggest you also go on the gallery and leave a like on the build. Again, you can use hashtag Simmuz to find it, or my ID, Simmuz, like here on YouTube. And if you leave a like, or if you leave a comment, or if you download it if you want it in your game, it really helps out, and hopefully I can win the challenge maybe and go on the next season of Spaark'd. I don't know about that. It really depends on what the Sims team is gonna think about my video. I'm working on a video of me talking about what I think about Spaark'd, and I have some thoughts. You're gonna see it soon, hopefully. I'm still actually, as of right now, I only have like the script done. I haven't really recorded anything yet, so I still have to do that. But you know, you'll see. I'm not gonna talk about it. You'll see. I'm gonna talk about this church because this church is gorgeous, and obviously, as the one in the movie was super white and Mediterranean looking, I tried to recreate it as well in the build itself. Because as of right now, you are still only seeing the rocks, and you might be like, yeah, can I see the church? And it's coming. I promise, it's coming. It's gonna be here soonish. And as I said, this church is gonna be pretty Mediterranean looking. I didn't want to go full white as in the movie because I feel like full white was a little bit too weird, especially in The Sims 4 or in The Sims in general. If you make a build very monochromatic, unless it's just for a challenge or for other like personal reasons, if you just make a build itself that it's super monochromatic, only one color and only one shade, it feels very weird and fake. While I still wanted this to feel realistic, since I did spend a lot of time making this, I didn't want it to feel ugly and dumb. So I did make it a little bit less white as the original. You know, the original is super white. This one is a little bit more cream with the red roof. I think that looks super dope. And oh my god, I really love the screenshots. So if you want to check those out, there are gonna be screenshots as always at the end of this video. Those, oh my god, I'm so obsessed with the screenshots. Super obsessed. And the church itself, it's a pretty like easy normal layout, just a square basically, with a little spot for the altar, I guess, quote unquote altar. It's not really an altar, but you know, the vibe itself is the altar vibe. And I really like how it looks. And for the look itself, I decided to go with open windows, open doors. There aren't any like actual closable windows or closable doors. It's all open. and I think that really gives a little bit more of that Mediterranean look that I was searching for, and that is actually exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm super pleased that that is the vibe, and I managed to achieve it. And those windows that I'm using are from Island, nope, they're from Jungle Adventures, right? Yeah, I think those are for Jungle Adventures. And yeah, I was trying to do something cool with the downstairs as well, where the altar and the whole like ceremony space is, and I think that really worked out nicely. And again, using a lot of the tool the tool mod to move these rocks around and make sense. And it was a lot of trial and error, especially with wanting this to be actually playable, since I didn't want it to be just aesthetic. I had to, put a lot of effort into making sure that the rocks weren't clipping too much with the stairs, so that the Sims could still walk through. And obviously, as I play tested, I had to move more rocks and I had to move more plants. The plants are still not here; they're coming right now, and it was a little bit difficult to find the right plants that I wanted. I really wanted, there is a specific type of tree that grows in the Mediterranean Sea that we call it, I guess you would call it like sea pine, I guess in English. I'm not really sure. It's like some kind of pine, but it has like a long trunk, and the leaf at the top are those like pine leaves, like the little aglets. I don't know how to call them. The little needles, yeah, little needles, kind of leaves, but they are in like an umbrella shape. Those trees do not exist in game, so obviously I had to make do with these trees from Jungle Adventures and Island Living, and a lot of like grass and greenery, and those flowers are gorgeous, and they really give the not really tropical, because I didn't want it to be tropical, but like I guess Mediterranean is really the vibe that I was going for. And to make the rocks a little bit more interesting, a little bit more realistic, I tried to place in some vines as well. You can see me starting with these debug vines from Jungle Adventures, and then we're gonna move on with some more vines from the base game. And yeah, I had a lot of fun, honestly, with just the decorating of everything. You can see I'm placing more plants, and that big leafed plant, that is a lifesaver that looked so good in between the rocks as well, like I'm doing, as you can see right now. And it took a while to get it right and get exactly what I wanted, and I get the plants in the spot that I wanted, and moving them up and down, and using the move tool and tool. It was a lot, but I think in the end it worked out pretty well. And this tree right here, it's gonna go right on that rock, because I didn't want the church itself to be covered up by the tree in the thumbnail, so that is the reason why. And as you can see right here, I am placing more vines. These are actually, those are not base game. I said that was base game. Those are vampire vines, yeah. I actually didn't use the base game vines, which I could have, but I didn't. So you're gonna get the vampire vines, which are gorgeous. I really like those vines. Those are my favorite vines. So that's exactly why I used them. And again, trying to fill up the gaps in the rocks to make it look more realistic. Like the vines are keeping the rocks from falling as well, which is very natural looking. And I think in the end it works out. There are some nice green spurts here and there that really look good, and they fill up the space in between the rocks where I couldn't really place other rocks, or where it looked a little bit weird, or where there were other clipping issues. So I think in the end it works pretty nicely. And as you can see here, we are at the top. This is the church itself. You can see I already put the wedding archway inside. That is gonna be the actual final placement of it. And you're gonna see at the inside as well, I tried to copy the one in the movie, which is super full, so many chairs and a lot of white again, and I think I succeeded in the end. It looks pretty nice. So I'm just doing the final touches with the landscaping up at the top. It was a little bit weird to work at the top because the camera kept, you can see right here, clipping through the church, and it would jump up. So it was a little bit hard to make it work exactly as I wanted, but in the end I think it works out. I did place in some curtains from vampires, I think. I think, no, maybe they're Realm of Magic curtains. The one with the arched structure, the arched wooden structure you can see right here. Yeah, I placed those in to make it feel like a little bit more closed in, and you can be a little bit private, a little bit, since it's, you know, it's still a wedding. And here at the back, I'm placing a little table right here to make it as the altar. That was a little bit weird. And some candles, because of course those are the thing to add. And some nice flowers here in this vase. I think that looks super cute, and you have such a great view of the ocean from this point. It's amazing. I'm super pleased with that. And I'm using these chairs with the little piece of clothing, like the cloth drape thing from the, I think it's luxury party. Those look very good for this kind of aesthetic that I was going for. And yeah, a lot of flowers again to make it look good, and a nice carpet in the middle, all white. And some decoration from Seasons. Again, a lot of cutouts, because I still had to place a lot of things and finish off a lot of the stuff, and a lot of final touches, and I didn't have super much time. I did place also that bath, the bird bath at the front, that it would be like the holy water, I guess. We don't really have a holy water thing, but that is the thing in mind, because this would be a Catholic church, because no, maybe Orthodox. I don't remember what kind of religion they have in Greece, which is pretty bad. I should know, but maybe it's Orthodox. Yeah, I think so. Maybe they don't have, I think they still have the holy water at the front of the church, right? Or as soon as you come in. That's usually like the churches that I go to or went to, or I've been in, you know. All the churches that I visited also have like the holy water at the front, but I don't know. Anyway, we're basically done. I'm just placing these beautiful lights from the toddler stuff pack. Those are gorgeous, and they really make the look of the final thing. These lights are gorgeous. They look great. They make the place look like a little magical land, and I don't know, I love them so much. I think they look great. Super obsessed with those, and the way that I decided to place them, make it look like they lit up the stairs, so you can have your wedding in the evening when the sun is coming down at dawn. No, not at dawn. I don't know why I thought about dawn, but yeah, I wanted to say the oh my god, sunset. Yep, that's the word. And yeah, you know, it looks great, and I'm super pleased with that. So I think we're almost done, basically. There's just some terrain painting just to make it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more grounded, like there actually is something at the bottom, and the rocks are not just floating everywhere. And there is this nice little area at the front, and some more plants to make it look a little bit more into the nature and nice. And I very much like it. I think it looks so good. Some more plants in this corner right here, and I think we're moving on to the screenshots in a second. There should be right now, you know, just changing the name Church Cliff. That's gonna come into Cliff Church. Mamma mia, that's the final name, as I promised. Here are the screenshots. I love this build so much. These are all screenshots of me while I was building, and this is the final screenshots with the lights, with everything decorated and final and done. I loved how it looks, and I love how it looks in Sulani. I think it works super nicely. Still not exactly the vibe that I was going for. Sulani wouldn't have really this kind of vibe, but that's exactly what I wanted for the church. And again, is it copied? I guess not really copied, but inspired by the Mamma Mia one. And I loved it. I'm so happy with this. Hopefully you guys like it as well. You can let me know in the comments down below what you think about this church. There are going to be also some gorgeous screenshots at night. But again, this is my entry for this Spaark'd challenge. It's an amazing challenge. I really love this wedding idea. Personally, I would be, you know, interested in a wedding pack, like a stuff pack. And it's weird that they would give us a wedding challenge when we don't really have so much stuff about weddings in game, but I think I made it work with the stuff that we have, and I think it looks great, so I'm super pleased with it. You can let me know in the comments down below if you want to check it out. Again, you can use hashtag Simmuz or use my ID Simmuz like here on YouTube to search it up. It's the Cliff Church Mamma Mia. And I'm guessing this is probably it, just the last final screenshots. But I'm gonna leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, put on notifications so that you know when the next video is coming out. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.